Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Lindy's time is 5 to 7 minutes. The objective is to prepare a report on a situation, event, or problem of interest to the audience. Deliver sufficient factual information in your report so the audience can make valid conclusions on a sound decision. Answer questions from the audience. Lindy,
Isn't it 7 to 10?
is there something else I'm
Yes.
supposed to do? I think that's it.
Just mention the amount of the speech, 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh, I mentioned that in the beginning.
Okay.
The only thing I wasn't sure is if I should give the actual title of the speech.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay,
If you
so
look
that's what I
at-
studied, that's
look
what I
at the
know.
timing again, I think you'll see it's a little different from what you said.
Oh, here it says 5 to 7 minutes,
With some questions.
with 2 to 3 minutes for questions.
Yeah.
I apologize. So then it's really almost 10 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we only have 2 speakers.
See,
Ah, very good.
7 to 10 minutes. At what point is it green or?
Yeah,
Do the normal 5, 6, 7, and then do 1, 2,
then time the 3 minutes for the questions, like 3, 2, 1.
2.5, 3, I think. 2, 2.5, 3 for the second 3 minutes. It'll be very clear when I'm switching to the Q&A. So the first one is 5, 6, 7, like a normal speech. And then when I go to Q&A, it'll be 2, 2.5, 3.
Oh. This is a fact-finding report is what the actually objective is, right? So it's a fact-finding? Okay.
Lindy, our club's DCP history and future. Lindy.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. What I'm going to talk about today is our club's DCP. And for those of you who are fairly new to Toastmasters, there's going to be a lot of alphabet soup in this speech. I'll try to make it clear. So we'll start off with DCP stands for the Distinguished Club Program. The Distinguished Club Program is the 10 goals that every Toastmasters club all over the world, all 14,350 clubs in 122 countries, are all aiming at every year. So let's have a look at them. Ten goals. I'm going to go through them really fast. If you get hooked and you get interested, the best thing you could do is attend the officer training on June 28th. You don't have to be an officer to go, and it is free, and they will go into this in much greater depth. But here are the 10 goals. The first goal is 2 people need to complete that first manual, the first 10 speeches in the Competent Communicator CC manual. If 2 people complete that in the year, we get 1 point. If another 2 people complete it, we get another point. So 4 people completing 10 speeches each is 2 points. When you complete your Competent Communication manual, you will get 2 free manuals, advanced manuals. And the next 2 goals are about those. So we need 1 person to complete an advanced communicator and another person to complete an advanced communicator. Those are also 10 speeches each. Then we need 2 people to complete the Competent Leadership Manual, the manual that everybody has with them and passes to somebody else every single week, I hope. So it's very easy to complete that. We only need 2 people during the year to complete that. The 7th and 8th goals are 4 new members each. When we have 4 new members join, we have a point. When we have another 4 new members join, we have a point. So now we're up to 8 points. The 9th and 10th goals are the administrative ones. The 9th goal is that we have to have our officers trained in both seasons. We have new officers every 6 months. They have to be trained every 6 months, at least 4 of them. So if we have 4 officers trained in June, which we are about to do, and then 4 officers trained in December, we get a point for that. And the final one is the semi-annual membership report, which really means our dues report. If we pay our dues on time, and if we submit our officer list on time. So as you know, we just voted in new officers. They're not actually submitted onto the Toastmasters.org website yet. We need that to happen in order for us to get that point. So these are the 10 goals. Every club is aiming at it. If they get 5, any 5 of these 10, they would be a distinguished club. Watergate Toastmasters has never been a distinguished club.
I know why.
Shush. If a club achieves 7 or 8 goals, they would be a select distinguished club. Watergate Toastmasters has never been a select distinguished club. And if they achieve 9 or 10 goals, they are a President's Distinguished Club. And our club has always, from day one, been a President's Distinguished Club. We started that, our club began in 2002. By the way, the year runs from July 1st through June 30th. So on June 30th, 2003, our club was President's Distinguished, and every year since then. That's a very good record. It's actually a superb record. There's hardly any other clubs anywhere that can say that. In our district, which has 150 clubs, there is maybe one club in addition to ours that can say that.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Who are they?
So we have a lot to be proud of. So let's see how we do. Let me get that over. So I've highlighted, this is the goals 1 through 10, and I've highlighted this section 9 through 10, which would mean that we're President's Distinguished. And I've done a little graph to show each year since 2009 how we've done. So as I said, the year begins in July 1st and ends in June 30th. The line down the middle there, of course, is December 31st. So halfway through the year, we're often at 4 goals, even 3 goals. We don't do splendidly. So really the point of my speech is this. Although we've achieved this every single year, we struggle at the end of every year. I would like to see us not struggle at the end of this year or any year. So the point of my speech is how can we get to where we do this easily, where we've achieved it easily. And there was one year, 2009, where we had achieved 10 goals by January 31st, 5 months before the end of the year. That was a year when our present president was our president. Susan Brooks was our president that year, and it may have had something to do with that. But usually, here we are. This is where we are right now. 2014, we're at the end of May, and we're at 8 goals. So hopefully we will make it, but we're still a month from the end. We don't know. Oh, I didn't say at the beginning, and I should say now, where my research comes from. So my research comes from the Toastmasters.org website and also another marvelous website that goes into greater details called TM Tools, Toastmaster Tools. And that's where you can find all this kind of detail, what month we'd achieved what. So that is the information. What I now request of you is that you think about, that is, the person sitting in your seat thinks about what it means to you to be part of a club that's so exceptional and what you would like to do about it, if anything. There's enough of us that actually not everybody has to do something about it. But if it appeals to you, if you would like to see this club go on from strength to strength and do even better in terms of the timing, what would you like to do about it? Now we'll go into the Q&A session, for which I have 3 minutes, so let's see if anybody has any questions.
Me.
Oh, good.
So
Emily.
we have a few more to achieve President Distinguished Club. What else we need to do? And how much?
I think Kathleen looks like she wants to answer that one.
Well, I wanted to say, this is what I was going to say at the end of the speech. Do you know what just happened? Do you? You know what just happened? With Lindy finishing her speech? How many know what just happened? 1, 2, 3, 4,
And me, of course.
5. We're there! Everybody! We're there!
So this is final speech in an advanced communicator, and that was the
Okay, everybody. That's why we already planned the celebration.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thanks for asking the question, Emily. Any other questions? Susan?
What do you think we need to do to achieve our goals earlier in the year?
I'm so glad. Thank you.
That wasn't a canned question.
No,
I
it
really
wasn't.
wanted-
It is, of course, the perfect question. What we need to do, we always plan. The officers get together at the beginning of the year and plan who can we count on to complete a competent communicator, who can we count on to complete an advanced communicator, how are we going to get our 8 new members. I would recommend that we actually go through that plan every single officer meeting and maybe discuss it in regular meetings so that we stay on track. We make that plan at the beginning of the year, but we tend not to refer to it very much. So I think if we actually use it as a tool and not just some piece of paper that we then put away and forget about, I think it could be very useful.
And that's the president's job, to put it on the agenda.
Thank you, and Kathleen's going to be our president. Philip?
There was a year, I don't recall, but we had the leadership manuals stored in the bin so that people would not have to remember to bring it. They would sign it and put it back in the bin, and it would be there every week. Did that yield us better results?
Not that I remember.
No.
And to be honest, that is not a very difficult goal to reach. We have over 30 members in the club. To have 2 of them complete a competent leadership manual during the year is not a very big deal. We can do that pretty easily.
We're already done, actually,
Oh.
with
Well,
2 of them for next year.
We've actually got, I think, 3, haven't we?
Yeah.
Somebody did an extra one. Philip, if the question, under the question, if ostensibly what you're asking is, could you leave your competent leadership manual in the bin? I think that's a question for Claire.
Or,
Or as she, who's, right, Nolan Dipty.
I don't have enough information about how you stored those things and all to answer that question, I guess.
I believe there's room in the bin, is that right, Camille?
There is, yeah, there is room in the bin, or there's a separate accordion thing of spare manuals, and maybe they could fit in that.
Are there other people who would like to do that in addition to Philip? Okay, so I see that the red light is on. If you have additional questions, I'll be very happy to answer them after the meeting. But this is as far as this Q&A period can go. What I encourage everybody to do is please do what I ask. The person sitting in your seat, think about what you can do to have the club go on from strength to strength. Madam Toastmaster.